Welcome everybody to the Zebra Talks. In this series, we interview the people behind the Zebra Life project, and we will learn a little bit more about them, about the progress of the project, and its relevance into the transition to a circular economy. As you know, my name is Miriam Romero, and today we will have a short talk with Francisco Llaría, the technical director of the Centro Tecnologico Riojano, or the Riojan Technological Center, which is one of the partners of the Zebra Life project. So, first of all, I would like to welcome you, Francisco, and we are very happy to have you here in this third edition of the Zebra Talks.
Thank you, Miriam. It's a pleasure to be here.
And well, before starting, as you know, we always like a lot that you tell us something about that we do not know. So if you are kind to tell you something about yourself. So with Francisco Llaría outside CTR and also outside the Zebra project.
I was born in Logroño some years ago, but grew up in a small village in the mountains of La Rioja. Nothing to do with wine or the valley or things like that. It's another world within the same region, despite of being a small region. So I know something, and I learned something about the sustainable use of natural and limited resources. Above all, limited. I have no special life. I love reading. I like 19th century classics, and I love sleeping. Everybody does, but in my case, it's a little bit more than the average. And I studied chemistry in Zaragoza, the University of Zaragoza. There was not a university in La Rioja in those days. I've been working in the rubber industry or companies related to rubber for 29 years, 27 for the same company. Not very common nowadays.
So thank you very much for allowing us to get to know you a little bit more better. But now if we come back to the Zebra project, could you tell us which is your role into the Zebra Life project?
Yes, what we're doing is to check the performance of the new additives developed in the project in rubber articles. We are acting somehow as representatives of the rubber industry. And with this purpose, we have designed a number of recipes. We say recipes when talking about the formula in the rubber world. And trying to cover more or less all the different applications of rubber on elastomers, automotive parts or tires, hoses, O-rings, these kind of things. But first we need to assess that the new additives disperse properly in rubber, have no staining effects or don't affect the vulcanization characteristics of the geometric curve. Once this is checked, we test the actual antioxidant effect, measuring the variation of physical properties after accelerated aging at high temperatures. And then we compare the results with the results obtained by using traditional antioxidants. This is the way we are carrying out the evaluation and comparison. Therefore, we will be able not only to check if the additive is an actual antioxidant that can be used in rubber, but also to identify what traditional additives can replace. Finally, we will work in the upscaling of the manufacturing process, preparing industrial mixtures and performing the same tests that in the lab scale.
Very interesting, in fact. So not only to look for the properties as antioxidant, but as many other potential that it could have. And yeah, I think it's totally clear that the formulation of a product, it's not that immediate. So you have to check a lot of other properties and of the product that we want to test in order to really assess if it's suitable or not for the different applications. Mm-hmm. So nevertheless, as you said, so one of the main properties that you will look for during the Zebra project is the antioxidant capacity. But what is really the function of the antioxidant in the rubber applications?
Yeah, it's protection. The main agents that can affect the performance of a rubber part are tropospheric ozone, the light, the sunlight, UV radiation, and the thermoxidative processes, oxygen. The effect of oxidation processes in rubber can cause many effects, such as embrittlement or softening, depending on the type of rubber. Loss of resilience and strength, cracking, changes of aspect, electrical properties, and so on. And the function of an antioxidant is to protect the polymer from them. And not all the antioxidants are suitable for protecting from the three effects. Normally, each agent requires specific products. But phenolic compounds, the Zebra additives, are probably the most widely used. They offer protection against ultraviolet and oxygen at the same time. The type and amount of antioxidant depend on the nature of the rubber, more saturated or less, and on the application. For example, articles with high demanding requirements, such as ties, need higher doses of stronger antioxidants than tennis balls, for example. This is why it's not only important to verify if the new additives are antioxidants or not, but also to quantify their antioxidant strength.
It's amazing how important is the role of the antioxidants in materials. So we use them in our day-to-day life, and we are not really realizing about what they include. So to make that possible, but I am curious to know what types of antioxidants are currently used in the rubber industry, and maybe what drives the rubber industry to look for alternative solutions.
There's more than a way to classify antioxidants in rubber. According to the staining effect, the agents they can protect from, if they have anti-flex cracking effect or not. But the most common classification is according to the chemical nature, chemical structure. In any case, the most of them are petroleum-based products. 90% of the ingredients of a rubber compound, the rubber itself, are synthesized from raw materials of fossil origin. And so all manufacturers are seeking alternatives from more sustainable sources for all kinds of additives, not only antioxidants. There are important technical barriers in this substitution, but little by little, some ingredients are being substituted. There are polymers as EPDM rubber, polymerase from monomers obtained from vegetal sources, natural resins used as pacifiers, and a lot of promising projects trying to find alternatives to accelerators and antioxidants as Zebra life. But it's not easy. It's not been easy.
Oh yeah, I understand that it's complicated, but it's great that, or to know that there is a change of mindset, and that the rubber industry at the end is also committed to a more sustainable solutions. So yeah, really good news. Therefore, I assume that this explains a little bit your participation in the project. So I understand that you were motivated to look for alternatives could provide. But what really motivated you to join the consortium?
Told you before, we are acting on behalf of a whole sector. Rubber companies, as the society in general, are committed with the substitution of fossil derived materials as an important part of the decarbonization process. But apart from a problem is that apart from a few multinational companies and tire manufacturers, rubber industries most of them are SMEs. Cannot allocate resources or people or money to keep up to date with the new materials or additives. This is why we joined this project, to be an intermediary between the researchers and knowledge hubs as research centers as ENER, for example, and the small rubber companies. In this sense, we are members of the main associations of rubber manufacturers, and I'm in touch with every kind of distributors of chemicals for polymers. So I think we can play an important role, not only in the execution of this project, but also in the subsequent promotion of the results and the additives.
I think your role is quite important, and it will be key not only maybe on promoting, but also in the dissemination and also in exploitation, and also finding relevant stakeholders to ensure that the sustainability of the project can be ensured. So I think it's really important. And so far, what I have seen is that you are doing a really good job. So yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, so the time has passed very fast. So we have already reached the end of the interview. So I would like to thank you very much for your time and for sharing your really valuable experience here. And yeah, to our viewers, I trust you found this interview as well interesting as I did. And I'm looking forward to see you in the next edition of the Zero Talks. So goodbye.
Bye bye.